Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. Today, I have pumpkins that I need to cut up and collect seed out of and feed them to our flocks. And then I've got to do some snowflakes. What am I using to make snowflakes with? You'll find out. And I've got a couple of other little things I need to do. I need to gather all my potting supplies and get them put up for the winter and feed and water our flock for the evening and collect the eggs. I hope you'll stick around to the end. So these are some of the pumpkin, squash, and a gourd that I bought from the Amish, and I'm getting my cards set up for the seed and a bowl to put the pumpkin in to give to our birds. This first pumpkin is called a turban or a tuck. It is an heirloom. It is edible. So we did find that out, and I'm looking forward to growing those in the garden because they look like cute little acorns. Here is the gooseneck gourd. I'm not sure of the name. It is fibrous inside, so it won't be fed to the birds, but I want to collect the seed because I can do some art projects with them when they are dried, and that will be a great addition to our garden. All of these pumpkins came from the Amish, the gourd and the squash, and this one was really tough to cut. Even though we've had two frosts, it was still pretty solid. So I'm practicing on this one. The second one goes easier because I found a trick to break these open. You're going to see that in just a moment. But I am looking forward to growing these in my garden as well, and I need to find out what the name of them are so that I can get the correct name with the pumpkin seeds. And there's my trick. Throw it on the ground, collect the seed that I want to keep, and then the rest of it will be fed to our flocks. It's going to be beautiful today, so I wanted to get some things done outside, including a craft. I'm going to make snowflakes, and you'll never guess what I'm using to make those snowflakes for a gingerbread Christmas. I'm looking so forward to that. Let's get these pumpkins finished up, and you'll see the seed and the big bowl of pumpkins here in just a moment. Less cutting on this pumpkin, thanks to our little trick. I'm gathering the last of the seed, and that bowl is getting quite full. I want to take a moment and mention Thankful 50 Challenge 25 is an open collaboration through the month of November. Upload your 50 things you're thankful for, tag me, tag 3 channels, and use the playlist in your description box. The birds are in for a real treat, and I have enough to give to the ones that are in the chicken tractors and the extra coops. Here are our seeds. They're going to dry inside. I'm going to put them on plates and allow them to dry completely before I put them in the freezer. And there is the turban pumpkin or squash, and I'm looking forward to growing that. Here's our project. I'm using vintage doilies to make snowflakes. Now, one of them was dipped in tea and was a little harder for me to get the paint to adhere and change the color. But you'll see that I managed to get it done, and I put several layers of this spray paint on here. I'm using a flat spray paint. Next time I do this, I might go with a satin finish, or I might use the shiny coat to get them a little bit stiffer. But I picked up 6 of these, relatively inexpensive, to make snowflakes to hang in our windows for our gingerbread Christmas. And I absolutely love the designs of these doilies. I did spray one side, allow it to dry, then flip them over, and I did that several times throughout this process. And of course, the wood piece underneath had beautiful snowflakes on it as well from me painting these over and over again. You can see the color is starting to change there with that one snowflake. It's important to do your spray painting in a ventilated area. You don't want to breathe in the fumes, and you want to make sure that you're not standing where the wind's blowing towards you while you're spraying. This little area here is where I store my tables and my outdoor lawn ornaments, my pots for potting, things like that. Eventually we'll be able to get a storage shed for this stuff, at least I'm hoping, or a greenhouse. You can also see our yard is just full of leaves right now. My husband usually runs the lawnmower to mulch them up instead of raking them. Because we have sandy soil, we want to try to build the soil back up. And this is one way we can build the soil up for free. Let's get the rest of the things that needs to go over in this spot and get them secured for winter. Don't you love the sound of crunching leaves under your feet? It's time to gather those eggs. Right now we have a lot of hens molting, which means egg production is down. However, we're trying to acquire some new birds to add to our flock. We have a local man that buys chickens, and usually they're already laying, so that would be a great addition. So y'all be praying that we can get some more chickens added to our flock for the winter months, and maybe we'll get our egg production up to where it needs to be. But here's today's egg collection. It also means double duty in the winter months, and our chickens, ducks, and turkeys really get their water mucky. And I'm trying to get the bucket cleaned out. I really need to take the buckets out one more time and wash inside and outside. Really good for the winter months. Winter means I am going to be changing out waterers at least twice a day, maybe 3 times a day, trying to keep it fresh and from freezing. So it's so important for our chickens to have clean water. And we have a large flock, so that's a lot of water buckets. We're hoping to purchase some more so that I can just take the ones that freeze, dump them over, set them out in the sun, and put fresh buckets in their coops. You can hear the ducks are excited about fresh water. There's 2 of our new chickens. That is a Brahma, and the beige one, and the black one is one of the Ayam Samanis that wouldn't get along with the others. This is a dirty job, y'all. I usually come in covered in mud and dirt after changing out the water buckets. In the winter months, we unhook the hose, which means I have to go to the water spigot to draw water and carry the buckets back to the coops. We do that to keep the hose from freezing up and busting. I found some of our ducks swimming in one of the water buckets, so I decided I'd pull out the pool and allow them to have a good swim day since it's such a pretty day today. So we're filling up this old sand container there, and it makes a perfect little pool for them. You're going to see my big hoppy duck come out and jump in here in just a moment, and he was filthy, y'all. We are hoping over the next few months that you'll see some major changes to our property. So be on the lookout for that. Careful, puppy. That water didn't stay clean for long. By the end of the day, that little pool was out of water again. I'm feeding the chickens earlier in the day now. We're trying to keep the feed out of the coops for the winter months and probably for the rest of the time. We've also added some more feeding trays to the area because we did grow our flock a little bit, and this helps them to spread out and find food easier. So there's now, I think, 5 or 6 little bowls out there for them to get food out of. We also added some cheap cat food to help our molting birds regrow their feathers. So they'll be getting that in their feed for a little while. We also add some herbs to their feed at least once a month. And there's our snowflakes. I think they turned out pretty good, and I'll be hanging those in our living room window for a gingerbread Christmas that's coming up in December. Aren't they pretty? Here's the star one. And here's the one that had the tea dye on it, and it turned out perfect. Here's some content I think you might like. Thank you for visiting our homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hype, and share to help our small channel grow. See you next time for more simple living, frugal tips, and farmyard fun.